As a kitchen designer and a kitchen design instructor, I have had plenty of my own experiences with this. Even if you don't know anything about kitchen design or cabinetry, you'll recognize this icon. This is the shaker door. And as a kitchen designer, I hear a lot in the industry. People are so tired of seeing this. It takes up about 90% of most people's kitchen sales, and you see it absolutely everywhere. And the reason being is that it fits with pretty much every style and budget. However, I did a deep dive on the origins of the shaker door, and I will never look at it the same way again. As it turns out, this door is deeply rooted in American history and is iconic for a reason. So I'm super excited to do a deep dive on this today, and I hope that we all have come out of this with a deeper appreciation for things that seem super simple, but have remained a staple in kitchen design for a reason. Our story begins in the mid-1700s in England. There we find a religious group known as the United Society of Believers in Christ's Second Appearing. You might know them as the Shakers, a name that they earned due to their energetic, ecstatic worship practices. Beyond their religious zeal, the Shakers were committed to a life of simplicity, equality, and craftsmanship. In fact, their beliefs in equality of the sexes was pretty revolutionary for the time. Men and women were considered equals in their communities, and both genders shared leadership roles. In fact, in 1774, a small group of Shakers led by a woman named Anne Lee immigrated to America in search of religious freedom. Over time, they established many self-sufficient communities throughout the northeastern United States, including New York, Massachusetts, and Maine. The Shakers had a motto: hands to work and hearts to God. And that was perfectly embodied in their furniture, where function and form align in harmony. Their main belief was that work was a form of worship. Whether they were building a cabinet or plowing a field, they believed that everything they created should reflect honesty, functionality, and simplicity. And that philosophy is very, very prevalent in the iconic shaker door. There's no frills, no unnecessary decoration, just clean lines and exceptional craftsmanship. While the shaker door is characterized by its simplicity with the flat center panel and the square edge frame, don't let the minimalism fool you. This design is a reflection of the shaker's commitment to function and longevity. The lack of ornamentation wasn't just a stylistic choice. It made the doors easy to clean and maintain in their communal, labor-driven lifestyle, and the precision in their woodworking using time-honored techniques like mortise and tenon joinery, as seen here, ensured that the doors were built to last. The Shakers believed that creating something well was an act of worship, and every door they made was built with the highest quality materials and methods. As time went on, Shaker furniture, including their cabinet doors, gained a reputation for quality and durability. By the 19th century, people outside of the Shaker communities began to appreciate the beauty in their simplicity. The clean lines of Shaker furniture stood in stark contrast to the highly ornate Victorian styles that were popular at the time, making Shaker designs highly sought after by those who valued craftsmanship and functionality over decoration. The influence continued well into the 20th century as modern design movements like the arts and crafts movement and mid-century modern embraced many of the same principles of simplicity and quality that the Shakers pioneered. It's also been super popular as of late with the rise of minimalism and farmhouse and all the other times that we have seen the shaker door in our daily lives. Now, this wouldn't be a deep dive without some fun facts. Did you know that the Shakers were also prolific inventors? Besides furniture, they invented the flat broom, the circular saw, and even the clothespin. In fact, Sarah Tabitha Babbitt, a Shaker woman, is credited with inventing the circular saw in 1810. She is said to have come up with the idea after observing two Shaker men struggling with a pit saw, which was inefficient and time-consuming to use. Babbitt's circular saw was a notched tin disc that spun with the pedal of a spinning wheel, allowing for faster and easier cutting of wood. She also connected the saw to a water-powered machine to further reduce the required effort. In 1798, brother Theodore Bates was credited with inventing the so-called flat broom. Prior to this, brooms were rounded at the bottom and did not cover very large of an area. Their innovative spirit was reflected in every aspect of their lives, including their approach to design and functionality. We owe a whole lot to the Shaker community. Without Mother Ann Lee, we probably wouldn't even be talking about the design at all. And without them, we wouldn't have the circular saw, clothespins, and who knows what else. I would like to thank you for joining me today as we went on this little deep dive into the history of the iconic Shaker door. I hope that you've learned something new about the fascinating people and philosophy behind this absolutely timeless design. If you've enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so that you don't miss our next story we'll uncover here at Cervos Kitchen Academy. Until next time, remember that great design always begins with a foundation of simplicity and craftsmanship.